You can't say those things to me, pal.
I have an appointment in an hour with somebody.
Well, that's really unfortunate, Chris.
You let your anger go there. What do you want people to do?
I'm just gonna sit down.
You can't threaten
You're not allowed to come on. Can't just sit
What
down.
you just heard was someone being arrested. It's not something that I'm used to seeing. But for Sergeant Claude Mallet and his partner, it's just a reality of working within one of Lowertown's most crime-ridden communities. On a sunny Friday morning, the two officers took me around one of Ottawa Community Housing's largest complexes. It's called Beausoleil, but I prefer the name coined by a mischievous graffiti artist. The arrest you heard was at the end of my day. Let's go back to the beginning of the fun zone.
Prime spot for dealing crack. Okay, who lives in there? People with mental health issues. Okay, addicts, alcoholics, and people who just basically get kicked out by the rest of their families because they don't want their trouble for their families. People who deal drugs don't live here. They come here to deal. What they do is either they'll take an elderly person, or they'll take a person with mental health issues, or just an alcoholic, and they'll say, what would it take for me to come in here and live here?
Hey, Helen.
How are you, buddy?
All right, rocking and rolling.
Live here and deal my crack out of your apartment or your room. They'll supply him with prostitutes. They'll supply him with a little bit of crack that he's wanting, but they'll let all the dealers come in and live there. So they'll tell these people who are living at the shelters, and the mission up the street here, that's the second one. And you'll see them all outside. But then all of a sudden, we'll go to one place where I get phone calls of all these people who live inside this building. Listen, room number 11, all hours of the night. I'll bring you to two places for Ottawa housing. See the guy coming up in a white coat? He's a crack dealer. Where's he going? He lives at the Shepherd's a good hope. So the Shepherd's is the last hope. Shepherd's won't turn away anybody. 455 Cumberland, right here. Used to be a crack house. It was overrun. Okay, we pressured the owner into evicting the person who was living up there, and we closed that crack house. That LCBO there on the corner of King Edward and Rideau has the most thefts in the province of Ontario. We'll just go straight to all the huge Ottawa housing complex in Beausoleil. You ever been there?
No.
It's probably the biggest Ottawa housing complex around.
A recent report commissioned by Ottawa Community Housing shows a majority of tenants rated their community as being as safe as, or safer than, their surrounding neighborhood. But a few blocks from Beausoleil, there are homeless shelters where crack cocaine abuse thrives. Sergeant Mallet says OCH tenants often get caught up with the dealers.
Okay, so all these row of houses, these two buildings, that building over there and that building up in the corner, that's all Ottawa housing. This is Beausoleil neighborhood. And right here, that building right there, the white balcony, that's a halfway house. Okay, and there was a murder there last year. So how easy is it to live there and get your crack or be able to sell it in here? And right now there's crack houses in 380 Murray, so we'll go there.
380 Murray is a multi-story apartment building that houses 230 units. Our research found this area has more problems than any other OCH property.
Go to two crack houses. See if anybody's home.
stop people here for crack. Most of the people we stop don't even live here. We seized $3,000 off the drug dealer who was paying rent for his girlfriend so he could deal in here. They don't live here.
What struck me most when I first walked into the building was the smell. It was a mix of food and industrial cleaner. I could see chunks of drywall missing from the ceiling. The carpets were stained. Objects were left strewn about halls and stairways. Nobody was home at the first apartment, so we moved on.
Ottawa Police.
What's up?
How are you, sir?
Great.
Everything's good?
Yeah?
Anybody else in here? It's all good, eh, now, these days?
Yeah.
Perfect. Just want to make sure you're all good.
It's going good, actually.
Good.
Yeah. Just finishing up my lunch, getting ready to take off for the day.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so see the room inside? Yeah. It's exactly what I said. Crackheads come in here, only one guy, put it aside, and they deal crack out of their apartments, and they take it over. Ottawa Housing wants to monitor the activity and put a camera right to his door. They won't tell them. Only Ottawa Housing Security will have that, and they'll record all the activity going in and out of his apartment. So when they want to evict him, they'll document. They'll have all that documentation when they go to housing tribunal to remove that person. But him, he only lost control of his apartment for about a month. He's back straight. All part of the crack world. There's theft, prostitution. There's, that's why we got so many car break-in enters in this area. People who come out to the bars and all that, they come out at the end of the bar and their cars are broken into. We got people pawning off stolen property.
As we made our way back to the Byward Market, Sergeant Mallet and his partner tell a homeless man to pour out his beer. Keep in mind that it's not even 1 p.m.
Empty it out, find the garbage can to put it in.
Yet, Sergeant Mallet still says he's seeing improvements.
What are like the most problem neighborhoods in your opinion? Or
Right here, you just visited it. Beausoleil project, but it's so much better than what it used to be. When I was on patrol, if you wanted to make an arrest, you just drive from the Sally Ann to the Shepherds. So you can go visit inside 312. You can go, people coming out of 380 Murray, it doesn't stop. That's why we have the most arrests in the city.